it's important for you to be notified so that you can then go and monitor your credit. Now through this.
Pennsylvania's Attorney General wants people in the Commonwealth to know what their rights are in the event of a data breach. He has recently filed a lawsuit against Uber.
The ride-sharing company recently suffered a data breach that impacted thousands of Pennsylvanians. Jackie DeTore joining us now to explain why this lawsuit is unique.
This lawsuit is all about the timetable of notifying Pennsylvanians about a data breach. The Attorney General believes Uber covered up the breach. Fox 43 finds out what this lawsuit could mean for Pennsylvanians and other companies in the future. This is the lawsuit Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro has filed on behalf of 13,500 Uber drivers in the Commonwealth involved in a data breach.
The investigation was going on and on and on. Uber was not being as cooperative as we had thought they might be in the beginning of this, and we thought a lawsuit at this juncture was necessary.
The AG says Uber broke two laws in Pennsylvania. One relates to unfair trade practices, and the other is the Breach of Personal Information Notification Act.
And the law here says they have to notify us within a, quote, reasonable period of time. Well, Uber knew about this data breach for more than a year. In fact, they covered it up for a year. I don't think anyone in their right mind would think covering up a data breach for over a year is, quote unquote, reasonable.
While that may seem like a bunch of legal jargon, Shapiro explains why he thinks Pennsylvanians should pay attention to the lawsuit.
It's important for you to be notified so that you can then go and monitor your credit.
Under PA law, the penalty is $1,000 for each violation of not notifying a consumer of a data breach. With a possibility of 13,500 violations, that's $13.5 million in fines Uber may have to pay. However, don't expect all that money to go back into your pocket.
Part of what happens when we do these lawsuits is the money comes back in, and it has to be used for this kind of work.
The AG believes the Uber lawsuit is a message to other companies to invest in infrastructure to protect consumers' data. He says another example of this is his investigation into Equifax. That breach impacted more than 5 million Pennsylvanians.
If you go look at Equifax's SEC filings, you'll find that for every dollar they earned, 36 cents went into profit, which is great. It's good. Companies should make profit. That's wonderful. But you know what I didn't see? I didn't see enough money going back into the infrastructure of that company to protect our data. So maybe take a few pennies off that profit and put it into protecting our information.
As for Equifax, the Attorney General says 48 states, including Pennsylvania, are still looking into why that breach occurred, when it occurred, and what happened to your information when it was stolen. Now, Pennsylvania House Bill 1846 was recently introduced by State Rep Brian Ellis out of Butler County. If passed, that bill would require companies to give notice to people impacted within 30 days of a breach. Companies would also have to explain what information was compromised and give a toll-free phone number for victims to call. Another part of that bill, the companies would also need to come up with a plan to safeguard and discard personal consumer information. As for Uber, the chief legal officer of that company says he was surprised by the lawsuit, saying in part, quote, "I've been upfront about the fact that Uber expects to be held accountable. Our only ask is that Uber be treated fairly and any penalty reasonably fit the facts." And you can read that full response at fox43.com. But that's where the question comes in. With the current law right now, what is a reasonable amount of time? A company could say one thing and a lawmaker could say another. What makes it reasonable?
It'd be interesting to know what kind of reach that law would have to companies not inside Pennsylvania and what they would be required to disclose.
And that's why he says this is a message for companies all across the country. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this lawsuit. We'll be following it, of course. Right. And if you have a story you want me to look into, Fox 43 wants to find out. Let me know. Send me a message on Facebook or shoot me an email at fox43finds out@fox43.com.